So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our frame editor. So our event editor was up here. We're going to go back to our frame editor. Now in our frame editor, we need to make walls. We need to have a wall on the left, a wall on the right, and a ceiling on top. And all I'm going to do to make these walls, instead of making them fancy, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to right click. I'm going to go insert object. Now with this one, instead of creating an active object, because this is just going to sit there, right? This is not going to move around. This is not going to be something like that's going to be coded. This is just going to sit there and act as like a wall. So instead of making an active object, we're going to make a backdrop. I have all these extra things you guys don't have, but backdrop should be pretty close to the top for yours. We're going to hit OK. And then again, we have that crosshair, which means we're going to place something, and I place it. So one of the things we can do is I need this thing to fill this whole area, right? I need like a rectangle here that's going to fill this wall. So what I can do is if I click on an object and then I wait a second and then click again, it'll give me these bounding boxes. If I double click fast, it'll open up the pixel menu. But if I want to change the size of it before editing the pixel art, I can click and then I can click, then wait a second and then click again. And then that allows me to take what was the generic sprite, place it, and then double click into it fast to take a look at it. Now I'm going to zoom out so I can see the whole thing. I'm going to hit the clear button. Now the nice thing is this is exactly the shape I need it to be. So I don't even need to draw a shape. All I'm going to do is pick a color. So let's say I want the walls to be blue. So I'm going to click this nice light blue at the top. Use my fill tool, the paint bucket, and then fill that in and hit OK. And now I have my left wall. It's this nice blue wall. So what I can do here is actually something great that saves me a lot of time, is instead of having to repaint a whole another one of these, I can right click on it and you can go to where it says create and just create another backdrop object. And then you'll see your cursor turns into a crosshair. Click where you want it, and then you can just click and drag to place it. And there you go, you have another backdrop object. So now we have a left wall and a right wall. And in fact, instead of keeping them names as backdrop and backdrop 2 here, we can actually change the names of these things. So if I right click on it, I can rename, and this is going to be left wall. Now I'm going to go over to the other one. I'm going to right click on it, rename, right wall. While I'm at it, I'm going to click on the paddle, right click on there, rename that, call that player 1, click on the ball, rename it, and call it ball. And then of course what we can do is I need to draw a ceiling here. All right, so to create the ceiling, we do the same thing. I'm going to right click on this. I'm going to create backdrop object. I'm going to click up here. Now you're going to see that this thing is going up and down. We don't want to go up and down. We want to go left and right. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on it, wait a second, click on it, wait a second again, click on it a third time, and now instead of the regular bounding boxes, you have a rotation box. So I can rotate this thing until it's roughly where I need it to be. As far as the side, the left and right. I'm going to go ahead and rotate a little more until it's straight. That's great, except it's not long enough. So again, I'm going to click again, and then bring it that way. So now they're not the best looking walls, but hey, I have a level. If I go ahead and run this, unfortunately, it goes through the walls. Now you probably gets this. We need to code it to bounce off the walls. So let's close our frame. With our backdrop objects, we can actually make these into what are called obstacles, where it'll behave as if it is a solid object when something encounters it. So the way we do this is when I click on it, again, you'll see the properties opens up here. Now you'll see that the properties menu for the backdrop object is slightly different than for the active object. What we're going to do is you're going to go over to where this little play button is. These are what are called the runtime options. And you're going to see where it says obstacle. We're going to change it from none to just obstacle. And we're going to do that for each of the walls. What this is doing is it's telling the program, hey, when we tell it to have a collision, this thing is going to act like it's a wall, like it's stone, like it's, like it's a solid piece of something, right? Now, the last thing we need to do is we still need to code this so that when it recognizes the wall, it bounces off of it. So we're going to go back into our event editor. We're going to go to new condition. We're going to click on new condition. We're going to click on the ball again. And then we're going to do collisions again. And then you're going to see, instead of another object, because all of our objects that are walls are considered backdrop objects, we can just tell it whenever you collide with a backdrop. Now that should include all of your walls. We're going to go over to it and we're going to do the same thing. Right click on it, go to movement and select bounce. So now when this collides with the background, make it bounce. So let's go back into our frame editor and let's run this. And there we go. We have a basic bouncing ball. These are the basics that we need to make our game work. Now, we do still have to put the bricks in. That'll be a separate video. But I wanted to make sure that we got the basics of how the frame editor works, how the pixel editor works to make our own sprites, and of course, how the event editor works to make events that happen in the game so that we can actually play something. So at this point, you should have your basic playfield set up. You should have a ball that bounces around and you have a player character that you can control. We're going to hop into the next video soon where we're going to show you guys how to actually make it so that you have bricks that you will hit and they'll disappear. And we're going to make it so that you can have a score and so that you can have a game over, because we know that when we make a game, we have to have some sort of fail state or fail condition as well as a win condition, right? So we're going to talk about what we can do to make sure that we have some sort of fail state. But that'll be in our next set of videos. I want to thank you guys for jumping in here and hope you're having fun with this.